MJF has a amazing promo on Dynamite this week while he was interviewing for a podcast. And he mentions in his promo that he is not cleared to travel or should not travel until Full Gear so that he could be 110% ready. Now, that's the kayfabe reason, but perhaps the non-kayfabe reason, the shoot reason, is because he'll be filming a movie. Now, for those that have seen on Twitter, Zac Efron is one of the Von Erichs. I think it's Kevin Von Erich in the Iron Claw movie, which is following the Von Erichs. But it has been announced this week that MJF will also be in this movie. So perhaps they wrote him off TV, wrote him off Dynamite for him to not travel so he can film this movie. And perhaps the war in 2024 is not AEW versus WWE, but AEW versus Hollywood. Is this a good move for MJF 2 weeks before his big match against Jon Moxley for the World Championship? And is this the start of the same path that we saw The Rock when he started doing the Scorpion King and then eventually left for Hollywood?
I don't know if he's ever going to be as big as The Rock or if he'll ever truly go to Hollywood and leave wrestling, but I do think this is good for his stock, whether he decides to stay with AEW or to go to WWE. I mean, it obviously is going to give him leverage. You know, there's very few guys that are ahead of him, and he might maybe nobody. I mean, it's a short list. I mean, if you want to talk about in-ring or character, whatever you want to say, I think maybe there's a short list of guys that may be ahead of MJF, and I don't think anybody's hotter than MJF right now in pro wrestling. So I think this is a good move by him, mostly for his career. We'll see where it goes, but no, I think this is smart on his part.
No, it definitely is, but I think this is an interesting move in today's wrestling because it seemed like anybody that wanted to make that transition from wrestling to Hollywood, you had to go to WWE to do it. I mean, Piper did it. The Rock did it. Stone Cold, Batista, Cena, they all did it, but they all went through WWE first. MJF doing it while only being in AEW, that goes to show, and this could be a bargaining chip for future free agents or independent wrestlers that think, oh, I can only be a mainstream superstar by going to WWE. If MJF becomes the first real mainstream pro wrestler outside of WWE, that's going to be great for a bargaining chip for Tony Khan and AEW to recruit some of those guys that now we know Triple H and Tony Khan have the same or the similar profiles and what they look for in wrestlers that they want to sign.
Yeah.
Listen, you don't need to go to WWE with their billion-dollar corporation to get to Hollywood and make a name for yourself. We could do it here too. Look at MJF at 26 years old. He's in a Hollywood movie with Zac Efron, you know? So I think this actually is a huge, huge move. And if that movie ends up doing well in the box office, which I don't know. I mean, Zac Efron, that's a name that could sell tickets. But with it being a pro wrestling movie, let's face it, it's still kind of a niche audience.